On December 11th at UFC 269, Charles Oliveira will be making his first title defense against Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Does Dustin have a shot? Let's get into it. Fighters so that I can come up with a prediction and then let you guys know what that prediction is. Looking at these two fighters, there's no difference in the age. Both of these fighters are the exact same age. They're both 32 years old. In terms of experience, Charles Oliveira has the advantage. Charles Oliveira has 40 professional MMA fights versus 35 for Dustin the Diamond. Dustin the Diamond Poirier is no inexperienced fighter. 35 fights is a lot. But in terms of comparison, Charles Oliveira has the edge. Let's talk about the reach. Charles Oliveira has the reach advantage. He's got longer arms and longer legs. Longer arms and longer legs means Charles Oliveira can keep Dustin a little bit on the outside and do damage and take pot shots on Dustin while preventing taking damage on his own. So that's an advantage for Charles Oliveira. In terms of weight, both of these fighters started off at the 145-pound division. Of course, now they've both upgraded themselves. They've graduated themselves to the 155-pound division. Dustin the Diamond Poirier famously had his first battle with Conor McGregor at the 145-pound division. They both started off as 145-pounders, so I don't think naturally there will be any weight advantages or disadvantages for either fighter. Okay, stylistically, let's get into the styles a little bit. This is the classic fight. Styles make fights, everyone knows that. This is the classic submission, grappling versus striking. I think Dustin the Diamond Poirier does have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but Charles Oliveira has a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a little higher. Of course, it varies from professor to professor. Some BJJ professors award belts a little faster than other BJJ professors, so it could be that maybe Dustin the Diamond Poirier just has a slower professor who likes to do things a little bit more slowly. Charles Oliveira does have that third-degree black belt. But overall, looking at the styles, Dustin the Diamond Poirier definitely geared a little bit more towards striking, kickboxing, Muay Thai, versus Charles Oliveira, the champion. He's geared towards submissions. In fact, he has the all-time UFC record in not only finishes but also in submissions. He's got the record in these two categories, submissions and finishes, all time in UFC over people like Anderson Silva, Habib, GSP, John Jones, all the legends. He's number one in UFC all time for finishes and for submissions. So this is the classic submission versus striking, Muay Thai, kickboxing clash, and it's going to be a great one because we all saw that Charles Oliveira can take punishment. He went up against Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler battered him, completely beat the crap out of him in the entire first round. Somehow Charles Oliveira goes to the corner, sits down on the stool. The stool was made of magic or something. He gets up from the stool and he chokes out Michael Chandler, resulting in the victory and him winning the title. Unbelievable, amazing. No one's ever seen a turnaround like that in the middle of a fight, and everybody gave him a ton of respect and a ton of credit for that, rightfully, to Charles Oliveira. I think most people are picking Dustin Poirier for this fight, and they're disrespecting Charles Oliveira. They're sleeping on Charles Oliveira. They're not giving him the credit that he's due, just because Charles Oliveira, if he was in the UFC 10 years ago, it would have been no problem. He would have been fine. But in this day and age at UFC, not only do you have to know Muay Thai, kickboxing, and grappling, wrestling, submissions, but you also know how to have the art of talking. You have to have a silver tongue. You have to know how to sell yourself, sell your fights. That's how you become a big name and a big star in the UFC in the modern era. 10 years ago, you would have been fine. He's a little bit more, Charles Oliveira, a little bit more on the quiet side. And that's the big reason, I think, as to why people are disrespecting him as a champion. I would not discount Charles Oliveira at all. I think he can take the punishment from Dustin the Diamond Poirier, and it's just a matter of time until he gets an opportunity to lock Dustin into a submission, and I think Charles Oliveira will win by submission. Dustin's last loss, he's won something like 8 out of his last 9 fights. Charles Oliveira has a 9-win fight streak. Dustin Poirier has got a 3-win fight streak. He lost to Khabib, and he's won the last 8 out of 9. His last loss was with Khabib, and it was a submission loss. Khabib locked him up in a submission, and Dustin tapped. So Dustin's last loss coming off a submission, Charles Oliveira being a submission master, it's almost poetic, it's almost foreshadowing. I think Charles Oliveira will get an opportunity to lock Dustin up into a submission attempt, and I think Dustin will tap. Even though I love Dustin, I love all the great things he does. He does a lot of good charity work in Louisiana. He's an entrepreneur. He sells hot sauce. I think Dustin's great. I loved the fight that he had with Conor McGregor. I love Dustin, but in terms of Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier, I think Charles Oliveira will get him into a submission attempt, and Charles Oliveira will be successful in his first ever title defense. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that in the comments below. Thanks for watching.